They laughed. Everyone laughed. When Hollywood came to North Wales, the football world saw a circus. They saw a documentary. They saw a joke. But the joke stopped being funny a long time ago. 3 promotions, 3 years of relentless, suffocating pressure. We've climbed out of the wilderness of the National League, smashed through the lower divisions, and now we are standing at the gates of the promised land. The Premier League isn't a delusion anymore. It's one step away. But the Championship is a cruel mistress. It doesn't care about the narrative. It doesn't care about the cameras. It chews up dreams and spits them out. And right now, despite the glory, despite the noise, there are cracks appearing in the armour of the Red Dragons. I've been watching closely. We've all been watching. And the reality is stark. If Wrexham wants to take that final, impossible step to the top flight, the fairy tale needs a rewrite. There are 3 critical flaws in this squad. 3 things the gaffer, Phil Parkinson, must fix immediately, or the dream dies here. The title card slams onto screen. The final hurdle. 3 fixes for the Prem.
Right, let's get into the thick of it. No messing about. We need to talk about the landscape first, because off the pitch, things are moving at light speed. You've heard the whispers, you've seen the headlines. The club has just received a massive injection of adrenaline. We're talking about Apollo Sports Capital. This isn't pocket change, lads. This is a $5 billion investment vehicle putting a stake in the ground. The plan is clear. Redevelop the racecourse, build that new cop stand, turn this fortress into a Premier League cathedral. The cash is there to accelerate the push for top-flight football. The owners, Rob and Ryan, have never been shy about the ambition. They want the big time. But here's the harsh truth. Money doesn't score goals on a rainy Tuesday night in Stoke. Money doesn't track back when your legs are gone in the 90th minute. We've had a dip in form. It's been a proper grind recently. We've cemented our place in the Championship, sure, but surviving isn't the goal anymore. Thriving is. And looking at the squad, specifically from the perspective of someone watching week in, week out, there are gaping holes that need plugging in January. So, let's break down the 3 distinct areas where the Red Dragons are vulnerable. And the first one is all about the engine room on the flanks.
If you know Phil Parkinson's system, you know the wing-backs are the lungs of this team. They aren't just defenders, they are the primary outlet, the width, the danger. When we have our first choice pairing available, we look lethal. I'm talking about Liberato Cacace on the left and Issa Kabore on the right. When those 2 are flying, Wrexham is a potent force. Kabore, coming in on loan from Manchester City, has been an absolute revelation down that right channel. The lad has pace, he has delivery, he's provided key assists, he's a proper signing. But here's the problem. How often have we actually seen them together? Rarely. It's been a nightmare on the physio's table. Cacace joined from Empoli in the summer with high hopes, but he's been fighting an ongoing injury battle since the moment he arrived. He's barely featured. And now, Kabore, our spark on the right, has picked up a hamstring injury. It's a massive blow. Now, don't get me wrong, the lads stepping in have put in a shift. James McLean, a warrior. He gets it. He understands the club. Ryan Longman has provided adequate cover too. But let's be honest with ourselves. They lack that same attacking venom. They don't strike fear into opposition fullbacks the way a fully fit Kabore or Cacace does. In the Championship, adequate cover isn't enough for promotion. It's the difference between a draw and a win. Parkinson needs to dip into that Apollo money in January. We need manpower. We need genuine competition and depth at wing-back. If we rely on players playing out of position or running on empty, the system collapses. But if the wings are a concern, the situation through the middle is even more precarious. And this brings us to the second and perhaps most worrying point.
On paper, it looks like we're stacked.
You look at the squad list and you see names, you see options. But football isn't played on paper. Kiefer Moore. Since coming in from Sheffield United, the big man has hit the ground running. He's already on double figures for the season. He is the focal point, the battering ram. He holds it up, he brings others into play, he dominates the air. He has been absolutely crucial to everything Wrexham does well this term. But take him out of the equation, and what do we have? In truth, we don't have an obvious choice to lead the line when the Welsh international is absent. We've got Sam Smith, we've got Ryan Hardy, but they've struggled to make an impact. They're good lads, but they don't offer that same physical presence. They can't bully championship defenders the way Moore does. Even with Jay Rodriguez returning to the fold recently, the drop-off in quality when Moore isn't on the pitch is terrifying. It changes the entire dynamic of the team. We lose our outball, we lose our teeth. And here is the scary part. Kiefer Moore's injury record. We know he's had his issues in the past. If he goes down for 6 weeks, can we honestly say Smith or Hardy will fire us to the Premier League? It's a gamble, a massive gamble. Recruiting another striker, a proper number 9 who can share the load or step in without the level dropping, is an absolute must in January. Failing to do so, it would put a serious dent in the ambitions of the entire season. It could be the moment we look back on and say that's where we lost it. But even if we fix the wing-backs, and even if we sign a striker, there is one final element missing. The one thing you cannot teach. The one thing that terrified defences more than anything else.
We are entering the final third of this analysis, and this is the biggest issue, the one that separates the good teams from the promoted teams. Speed. Raw, unadulterated pace. Look at Sunderland last season. Look at how they gained promotion. Regis Labrie assembled a squad that was absolutely electric. They had speed aplenty, especially in the forward areas. Their counter-attacks were rapid. They put opponents to the sword with clinical precision because they could turn defence into attack in the blink of an eye. Now look at us. Wrexham has adjusted capably to the Championship. We are tough to beat. We have a mean defence. We keep clean sheets. That's the foundation Phil Parkinson has built, and credit to him. But we look short of pace, particularly in the final third. We are methodical, sometimes too methodical. When teams sit deep against us, or when we need to break quickly, we lack that explosive gear. We lack the players who can burn a defender on the outside and create chaos. To reach the Premier League, you need to be able to hurt teams in multiple ways. You can't just rely on set pieces and crosses into the big man. You need speed to stretch the game, to open up spaces, to create opportunities at the opposite end of the pitch when the game is tight. Without that additional pace, we become predictable. And in the Championship, predictable teams get found out.
So there you have it. The blueprint is clear. The owners have provided the resources. The Apollo investment is the fuel. But the engine needs tuning. We need depth at wing-back to keep the system alive. We need a killer instinct up front to support Kiefer Moore. And we need to inject pure speed into this side to make us unpredictable. Ryan and Rob have done their part. The fans have done their part. Now it's down to the January window. It's down to the gaffer to make these 3 changes. Because we are so close. We are one step away from the promised land. The Premier League is waiting. The question is, are we brave enough to take it? I'm buzzing to see what happens next. Let me know in the comments, who would you sign to fix these issues? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the Red Dragons. Up the town.